I was like deleting the video.
She's like, just deleting it.
I didn't record this nonsense. All right. Why not? Okay. This feels weird. This is what it's like to be tall. So.
Later, you should go up.
So,
What is happening here?
I was about to say.
Oh, you were just.
Do you need to be taller?
I've thought about getting those platform boots, but I heard about the pain, so.
You want me to lift?
I mean, are you gonna stand for this?
Run. Let me see. Reading a piece by Mr. Kevin Young. This book is just, I love peering into somebody's uncollected soul, whether it's a book of uncollected pieces or an album of studio outtakes or whatnot, just the making of a piece or just something that's unreleased. I don't know why. It gets me giddy. Saw the Van Gogh exhibit not too long ago. I got to see some of his preliminary sketchbooks.
Right.
Yep. And some of the preliminary sketchbooks, they're so pretty, and they included such whimsical sketches, and also just even verse that he's written. So yes, indeedy. So let me. Okay. Autumn Song. Even a dog got him a house. Me, I am rent, unpaid or late. I am a small bird beneath a big wheel, snail brown of November night. Even a bird dog knows what way is home. Me, I hunted the high places, the low where only the wingless go. Of the trees, nests are all that's left. In wind, pine limbs creak like an old man's. A door opening, the noise beneath my feet. Even a bird, a dog, got him a cage. He can bark all night in, or sing. I just feel silly. So.
We have to bring you down a level.
I'm lowering my standards.
Say those really
lowering standards. Oh, that's good. Okay. So, alright. A couple of these. So, this was an environmental piece that was published not too long ago. The International Dark Sky Association viewed this and liked it quite a lot. This is actually an edited version. And in a nutshell, the International Dark Sky Association fights for the defense against light pollution. So, yes, indeed. We need to see. It's ironic, especially where I live, right near NASA. We can barely see any stars. So, come on. So, this is Bright Darkness. Smoke screen of lights, ivory enveloping the ebon shadow in blinding blazes, all automotive remembrances of mystery left to those who cough in frustration. I cough and I cannot see Orion, longing for his next aerial hunt. I wheeze and I cannot view Andromeda, searching for Madre Cassiopeia in a vain attempt. I spiral and falter and I cannot weep for the two Ursas romping in omni fields. I weep at the burning artificiality and planetary rebellion, a revolt against heavenly earth proportions. I weep at the oblivion of a species honoring a construct of flooded nothingness, maelstrom to melancholy lapses. Outline of my abode in the scent of familiarity, the distance of shifting suburban pavement, soft lighting caresses my cheek, greeting my circumnavigatory balance. We will be living in bright darkness, an empty sky sans the stars we yearn to reach. And, let's see here. This piece was published not too long ago. And a couple of you may have heard this piece before. This is, well, no easy way to put this. I wrote a book of erotic poetry last year, but it has more of a spiritual twist. It's how I can best describe it in a nutshell. And this is the title and seminal piece which started the entire thing. Naomi's mirror. She is unavailable, crystal moon woman, girl who licks glass in ecstasy. Her tongue becomes shards and she melts into magenta puddles smelling of jasmine and other earthen fragrances. She is emotionally unavailable, uneven star formation lady, forcefully reminded of trauma, sends recollection of incidents. An earthquake within, tremors do not cease until memory of his unwanted touch fades. She loves it when you tell her what is on her mind, illustrious illusions, delectable delusions. She is physically unavailable, platinum sun girl, touching herself until the mouth of flames consumes her completely from gushing inner heat exhaustion. Coming to astral realization, she cannot be anyone without herself awake. She is spiritually unavailable, dreaming neon prism goddess, transforming herself into doppelganger strangers, assists in the snow-blind quest to find herself before the fleet of scarlet battleships conduct her hasty trial, and all the while she laughs with gusto, lacking an audience. Changes in her tone through sung Eastern ballads, indulges in the sciences of day, drinking night potion. 'Tis time to come home to her consciousness and reflect. She refuses to be silenced, liberation fighting femme. A battle axe of speeches wins the open fist-fighting tournament. Egalitarian for life, her dream spheres rise and set in unison. Motions of perfection. With one voice of solidarity, she crosses her eyes and sees only a checkered past. Never under the knife's mercy, her weaponry is lyrical and remains unchallenged. Sensitive to any blinding and deafening touch, she expels the ringing bells of anti-shame, reverberating off of cathedral stone entrances, synagogue stained glass sanctuaries, mosque floor carpets rising and conquering, neo-pagan forest soil vibrations. She is a shadow of my disoriented figure. She is an echo of my amplified echo. She is a conscience of my ear's reception, takes the form of vermilion mist, the particles of summer sunflowers dancing on the eyes of innocent temple attendees. Everything they know is written in patriarchal tablets, knowing nothing of the victorious other sides. She bathes in the spoils earned from mental wars, for every apocalyptic day in her head is a victory. 'Tis time to return home to glass backward replica and reflect. Last but not least, a draft from the current notebook. All of these pieces have been called to the military one time or another. That's why they call them drafts. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, they've had a hard life, so rough drafts. Okay. Anyway, can't get it now. So I absolutely love blues pieces, whether they're poems or songs. I really love Chicago blues, like when they went electric and whatnot, but I really like a lot of the old blues pieces from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Of course, one of my favorites is Robert Johnson. Just sometimes his style inspires at least a fraction of these. So, on that note, the poet's blues. I passed through the lights of fate, knowing my expiration date was overdue. I passed through the lights of fate, knowing my expiration date was overdue. This life was in next year's mirror reflection, cracked fragments from a fragmented point of view. All we stared at were shadows on the ceiling, laughter from the shifting earth we stained. What shade of shocked are you this evening? Purple haze or splashes of pewter acid rain? Honey and fire words, crystal flaming bricks, the actions of the hero I call woman, Vedic voices for the archive, random incantations for the archetypal goddess has been summoned. Bring me the parasite wanderer, the fretting chappie with notebooks on his tongue. Bring me the draft dodger's rags, the blood-soaked cloth neath the cracked bell we rung. Bring me the obsidian king, the tourmaline-caked brother with ballads unsung. I've received the daily tragic media news, one death sensation after another look of dismay, and I've got the poet's blues, the ailment that writes itself away. I passed out after envisioning a dream of rivers, an omen of polluted earth watchers. I passed out after swimming in a river of dreams, an omen of polluted earth watchers. Ethereal lights take the form of an invasive beam, guiding me to the chamber of night voyeurs and day stalkers. If the son of the wind brought me to resurrection, what have we done to our suppressed daughters? If the sister of the sun shines ice crystals, why do the sacrificial blades melt into communal waters? Take me to a Stonehenge worth preserving, the gathering of magic folk so pure. Give me a personality worth fighting for, the stoic optimist holding back delusions of grandeur. An armada of chaos licks the tip of Isle shore, releasing a diseased sailing fleet. The menacing rats sink the ship of fools, blundering bubbles of lifeblood spilling secrets indiscreet. An act of random kindness always prepares me for death until the white of the whale swallows all that remains obsolete. I've regurgitated 88 hues, a spiritual purge in the name of tomorrow, and I've got the poet's blues, the blank path that leads the way to the beauty of sorrow. So, I guess, once again, Shen hosts a radio show, space-themed radio show every Thursday evening, and he will give you the details if you wish. The next open mic is going to be the first Monday of next month, and it's going to be at Nocturne. And we have no theme for that one, but since the day of the next second Wednesday reading at Art of Coffee is on 9/11, I think that theme is going to be fairly obvious. So if you want to bring a piece written by you or by someone else pertaining to 9/11, that would be wonderful. And any other arts-related
Yes.
events?
I'd like to make an announcement.
Okay.
So, 2 announcements.
All right.
So, you don't have to do anything. So, in continuation of the radio show, the SG2 on Space is on every Thursday night, 8 to 9 p.m. on at the studio Action One Media. That's where I physically go, which takes a very long drive from here, but whatever. So you can tune in at my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/theshenshow. Yes, that was the former name for it, and I decided it was too arrogant, so I changed it to SG2 on Space. So you can also find it on YouTube, SG2 on Space. So, first announcement. Second announcement, so there's this, Zach, are you familiar with Living Art?
Yes.
You are?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I told you about it.
And I
Well, you already knew about it.
I was on
You
it a few years.
suggested me.
And I was
right?
on it a few years ago. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So, in any case, so Living Art is a show on 90.1 KPFT. Yeah. So it's on the radio, and it's every Thursday at 6 p.m. So 6 to 7 p.m. And so the host is a poet and a teacher and
Playwright.
Playwright.
He's a good playwright too.
Who and obviously a radio show host as well. And so on his show, Living Art, he interviews various visual artists, musicians, writers, poets, whatever, as long as you're in the creative field, you've done something. So I'm going to be on a show on September 12th for the first 20-ish minutes, so from like 6:20ish. So I'm gonna read 2 poems, and then the rest of it is him interviewing me, or just having a dialogue. So, and that's on September 12th, which is Thursday, which is the day after September 11th. Right? So
Yeah.
so at 6 p.m. So that's the plan. So
Awesome.
yeah. Anyways, so you can tune in on the radio on your FM dial, or you can go to or you can go to kpft.org. I think they're a nonprofit. So yeah.
Wonderful organization. Yeah. You can. The archive should be available as well if you want to listen to past shows. They've interviewed some.
You've been
incredible
interviewed on
people.
there.
Yes, sir.
For your poetry.
2014. Yep.
Wow.
Well, it was both Dustin and I, and you can actually hear my voice a shaken and a shaken. So it was my first ever radio interview. That was something else. So yeah, it was a great experience. I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
That was back when Professor Michael Woodson was the host.
Ah, okay.
Bucky,
Not
I
that
think
was.
I think Bucky took over not too long.
It also says Mike McGuire. I don't know if you knew who that is, but I don't know who he is. So I know Bucky Rhea. He's the guy who would interview me. So
Yes, indeed.
yeah. So.
And with that, thank you all so much for coming, supporting Shen, supporting the arts, supporting one another. We may be in this craft for ourselves, but I believe it's our duty to definitely support one another, encourage them. I think you set a great example for that tonight, Ashley.
Yes.
Thank you so
Definitely.
much. You're just wonderful.
Your words was just something else. So, thank you all so much for coming. Have yourselves a wonderful good night.
Zach, I would love to have a video